Man, guys, I have to let you guys know, February is looking like the craziest month for sneakers that I have seen like ever. It has Yeezys, it has Nikes, it has Jordans, it has Adidas stuff, it has a whole mess of everything, and it is insane for not only reselling but also for just personal cops, man. There's a lot of stuff in here that I want to pick up for the collections, but we will be going through every single hype shoe that will be dropping in February. I'll let you guys know all the information of where they're dropping and resale predictions for each individual shoe. So a lot of stuff to cover today, and we're gonna get into it real quick. But before we do, I do want to give a shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Rose Gold and Black. Rose Gold and Black is the premier minimalistic jewelry company that I personally love, guys. Everything looks so sleek and looks so minimal that I just really enjoy all of the pieces on there. One of them that I'm actually wearing is a throwback to one of my favorite pieces. I used to wear this one all the time and I haven't worn it in a while because I've been using their new stuff, but I gotta start wearing this one again more often, man. This is the wing necklace. I'll put it up over here so you guys can see it up close. It isn't like overbearing when you're wearing it and stuff, which I think is really nice and actually matches my tattoos and stuff really well, which is why it is one of my favorite pieces like of all time from Rose Gold and Black. So I hope you guys check it out today. If you guys go to the link in the description below, it will take you to Rose Gold and Black, where you will get 20% off your order as well as free shipping. So highly recommend you guys go check that out right now. Thank you to Rose Gold and Black, and let's get into the video. The Yeezy 350 V2 Marsh dropped on February 1st for a retail price of $220. Now this is an interesting Yeezy release because it's not very often that Kanye does this, but he made this Yeezy exclusive to Yeezy Supply, which means that you wouldn't be able to cop it on adidas.com or at any other retailers. It was only available at Yeezy Supply, which means that it should have good resale value. But after the release, I am going to give a resale prediction of about $280 or so, and mainly it's that high because it is an exclusive model. However, the color is just something to be like just more desirable in my opinion, so I don't think it's going to be very, very high. Now next up on the list is a shoe that I'm actually excited for. It is the Nike Dunk Low Plum. This one is dropping on February 7th for a retail price of $100, and it is just a very, very beautiful shoe. And this one is fire because it was released back in 2001 as a Japan exclusive 19 years ago. So you basically never saw the shoe around because it was very exclusive, and that was back in the day where it was harder to get shoes like across like continents and stuff. So very difficult to get. Some people never saw them in person before, so thankfully Sneakers is bringing it back finally. These will be available on Sneakers app as well as skate shops and stuff all over the place. So check out your local skate shop, see if they have the shoes in stock because they are limited and they will be huge resale targets actually. Because what I'm projecting they're going to resell for is about $280 to about $300. So that's 2 to 3 times more than retail. The main reason for this is because Dunk Lows have been shooting up a lot lately, and I think this one will be no different. So try to cop if you guys can. That will be dropping on February 7th. And next is actually another Dunk, but this one is in Dunk Low SB, and this one is called the Strange Love Skateboards collab. This one will be dropping on February 7th as a general release at skate shops only. Now these will be retailing for $100, similar to the last shoe that we just looked at. Because it is a Dunk Low, just like we mentioned for the Plums, this Strange Love collab is actually going to be a very good reseller as well. I personally think these are going to end up being worth more than the Plums, so I'm going to guess that the resale prediction for this one will be about $330 or so. I mean, when you guys look at the shoe, it has a very unique look. I think all of this is actually made like with a combination of like felt and nubuck, so it has a really interesting look as well as like a color palette that we don't see very often. So very nice shoe. I think because Dunks are making a comeback, people are going to fall in love with this one. Definitely a must cop if you guys are able to get your hands on this one. Now this one is probably like the weirdest drop for February. I really have no idea what's going on with this one, but on February 8th, the Jordan 1 85 Varsity Red is actually dropping. The retail pricing of this one will be $190, which is higher than normal. The weird thing about this is that, I don't know why, but pre-sale numbers have been like ridiculous for this shoe. Most of the ask prices right now, like on any sneaker app, is going for over $1,000. Some of them even touching $2,000, which is ridiculous for pre-sale. And the weird thing about that is that the bids, like what people are actually paying for these things, are actually very close to that number. Most bids are around $700 to $800 right now, and this is pre-sale release. That's very, very high, and it's so strange because it doesn't look like a really like nice kind of shoe. It's very similar to the Jordan 1 Bread, but I think people are very hyped over it because it is exclusive in the fact that there's only about 23,000 pairs. At least that's the rumor for stock numbers. So very low drop, and I think that's what people are getting attracted to. And also I think in combination that January basically had nothing to resell, I think a lot of people will be targeting that one. So kind of makes sense. I expect it to drop down to about I want to guess like $700 or so for the resale market, but who really knows, man? Like, if people are really paying like over $1,000 for these things after the release, I don't know what to say. Hard one to judge, but I'm gonna guess at about $700 for this one. So one of my favorite sneakers dropping this month is actually dropping on February 10th, and it is in collaboration with Fear of God. It is the Nike Air Fear of God 1 in the string colorway. I don't know why they call it string, but that's what it's called. It will be retailing for $350, and it will be dropping on fearofgod.com as well as on Sneakers app. The color is actually really unique on this. I think it's the first time that Jerry Lorenzo's ever done like a two-tone kind of look like this. So it does have a nice aesthetic to it. However, I'm thinking that in terms of resale, I don't think these will be going very, very well. The Air Fear of Gods have not been trending like high recently, like with the past couple drops. I think that the oatmeal and the sales, they're both going for about $450 or so, which is only about $100 over retail because of the expensive retail price of $350. I'm expecting these to be about the same. So I mean, there's still decent resale on it. It's just not as high as you would expect. And I actually really like this shoe, so I might end up paying resale if I can't cop for personal. So yeah, I'll be on the lookout for that one for sure. And so the February 13th weekend is actually the NBA All-Star weekend, and there's gonna be a lot of shoes dropping that weekend, guys. Starting off the weekend though on February 13th, we will be looking at the Jordan 1 High women's sizing UNC to Chicago. It's basically like a top 3 kind of look. Does have a whole bunch of different colors on there, and this one will be dropping for $170 on the Sneakers app. I personally am not a big fan of this. I was never really a big fan of the top 3s, which is why I don't have any pairs of those. I know a lot of people will be targeting this one, so it is a definite good reseller as well as a personal cop if you guys enjoy that kind of like what the kind of look, you know. So after looking at like pre-sale prices and stuff, I'm gonna guess that the resale prediction for this one will be about $330 or so. Another thing to remember for this one, because it is a women's shoe, you guys do have to look at the bigger sizes, because the bigger sizes will be like better for resale because it is like a 1.5 size difference in terms of US sizings. And now my personal favorite drop of this month, which is really weird for me to say, I know, but it is my personal favorite if it does drop. And the shoe that I'm talking about is the Yeezy Basketball Quantum. This one is going to be an interesting shoe because there is no confirmation that it will release. However, a lot of people are suspecting that it will drop on NBA All-Star Weekend because it makes a lot of sense. That way the NBA All-Stars can actually wear the Yeezy basketballs during the game. Kanye can show off his shoes and whatnot now that he's revamped it so that it's able to go for basketball courts. And it would just be really good timing, but there is nothing confirmed. There's not even a retail price for this thing, so there's a lot of unknowns with the Yeezy basketball. That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm not going to make any resale guesses and stuff on this because nobody has any information on this. It's just like a wait and see kind of thing. So be by your phone during the NBA All-Star Weekend just in case there's a drop on Yeezy Supply or Adidas. And talking about Yeezys, there's actually going to be another Yeezy drop on February 15th for a 700 V3 colorway called the Alva. This one will be retailing for $200 and dropping at the usual places, Yeezy Supply as well as Adidas. And what's weird about this one is a lot of people are paying very high pre-sale prices already for this colorway, and it's kind of just a plain black V3. Right now my resale prediction is going to be about $500, so very, very good reseller if you guys can get this. I could be completely wrong though, but that's definitely a one that you want to target for not only resale but for on feet, as that is the second colorway for the V3 line of the 700s. And another shoe that is actually rumored to release on February 15th is another Yeezy, guys, the Yeezy 380 Mist. This one will be retailing for $230, and just like the Alva that we were just talking about, this is actually, I believe, the second colorway for the 380 line. The Mist actually looks very, very close to the Alien colorway, so I'm assuming that it won't be higher in resale than the Aliens. My guess for the resale prediction of this one will be about I want to say like, this is tough, like 380 maybe, somewhere in that zone. Again, I think these numbers are just high though because people are itching for shoes to cop because January was so bad, so it could flux. It might actually be lower, who really knows. That's just my prediction for this one. Oh, this is so much shoes dropping on one day, man. I don't know how we're gonna keep track of all of this. But dropping on February 15th is the Jordan 1 New Beginnings pack. So 2 different shoes in there, and it will be retailing for $350. This one has a very old school kind of vibe to it, man. That's the look they were trying to go for. So it looks like those vintage like 1985 Jordan 1s, and also its predecessor, the Airship PE. So it does have an old school kind of look. I'm not really into like those vintage kind of looks, so I'm not sure how people will react in terms of like hype and in terms of resale for this one. However, it being a pack and it being like a new release, I feel like it will still do well in the resale market. So I'm assuming that the resale prediction for this one will be about $700, so double retail pricing. Packs usually do well for like resale markets, and I think that this one will be no different. But honestly, for me, the box is cooler than anything else. So yeah, not a personal cop, but definitely one that you want to target if you do want to get into resale. I don't know how there's just so many shoes dropping on one day, man. So another February 15th drop is actually the Off-White Air Jordan 5 that people have been waiting for so long. That one's also dropping on that day, and it will be dropping for a retail price of $225 on Off-White's website as well as Sneakers app. And this is one of the most confusing shoes to me because I did not like this design. I still don't like this design. I think it looks kind of like whatever to me, this Jordan 5, but I don't know, a lot of people must be going crazy for it because pre-sale is ridiculous for this right now. Current bids, not asking prices, current bids are around $1,500 for this shoe, which is ridiculous for this. That's so dang high for pre-sale, man. I don't know why people are so in love with it, but they obviously are. I can't imagine these prices staying that high though. Like, it just doesn't look like as unique as most of the other Off-Whites. So I'm assuming that it probably will drop down in value to maybe about $900 to $1,000 or $1,100. So it won't stay at like $1,500 range. I know over time though, it will definitely go back up and hit those high numbers, maybe even over $2,000, but that's further down the road. And that's usually just how all Off-Whites are. So that's my expectations for that one, and probably the biggest resale target of the month of February. And now I did want to include this shoe, which is also dropping on February 15th, but it's not going to be one that you should target for resale. It's actually the Jordan 3 Unites or the Red Cements, and they will be retailing for $200. I think that this one is actually one of the best sneakers dropping this month. However, I know that there's no resale on this, at least for right now. The colorway is clean, it looks really nice. I actually picked this up during the shock drop and I've seen it in hand. It looks dope, guys. It's a really nice sneaker. However, a lot of people aren't like feeling it, I guess, right now because resale prices are at about $200, which is retail, and after fees and stuff, if you sell on apps, that's under retail. So be careful with this one. It is only a cop if you want it for the personal. However, I highly recommend it. It's a nice shoe. And then towards the end of the month, we actually have a small break in between. February 28th, there will be another Yeezy drop. This one is called the Yeezy 700 MNVN, and it will be in like an orange kind of colorway. This one will be retailing for $220, and it's the first time we've ever seen like this MVN, and it's the first time that we've ever seen this MNVN, it's a tongue twister, ever released. I think that this is really tacky looking, guys. I feel like this is like a fake looking shoe. I just don't like it, man. I'm expecting this one to resell for maybe about $280, and I'm only giving it that price because it is the first time we've ever seen this new model of Yeezy. So that's the only reason why I think there might be resale. On February 29th, there is a Jordan 1 dropping, and this one is called the Green Toe. It will be dropping for the new retail price for Jordans for $170, and it looks very, very similar to the Pine Green Jordan 1. Jordan 1s are really starting to get like kind of played out, man. There's just so many different colorways and they just keep dropping them like over and over and over. So I don't know how to feel about this one. I love my Pine Green. I don't think I need this Green Toe, but I mean, it's still a good one to cop for personal or for resale because it is a Jordan 1 and they still have value. I'm expecting that it'll be pretty low though in terms of resale value, maybe about $240 to $250 for this one, just because it does look so similar to the Pine Greens, and the Pine Greens did not do like amazing for resales, even though it is a Jordan 1 model. So I'm expecting more or less the same thing there. Okay, I know that I said that the Off-White Jordan 5 might be the most like hype drop for this month, but then I looked at the end of the month and I might have to take that back, because dropping on February 29th is the Travis Scott Nike Dunk SB low drop. It will be retailing for a price tag of $150, which is actually higher than most SB drops, but I mean, it is Travis Scott's name on it, and $50 more is not that much more expensive. This one, in terms of resale pricing, it's gonna trend for over $1,000 for sure, guys. Like, no doubt in my mind, the resale prediction for this one will be over $1,000. People love Travis Scott, and the SB Dunks, like we were saying this whole video, have been making a comeback. So it's like a perfect storm of biggest artists on the planet right now and the resurgence of the Dunk together in one shoe. It's gonna be crazy for resale. It will be on Travis Scott's website as well as on Sneakers app. Good luck to everybody for that one. It's gonna be wild. Whew. Anyway, guys, that is it. I am out of breath on this one. This was a lot of shoes to go over, and hopefully we're all able to cop at least one from this list, whether it be for personals or for resale. I wish you guys all the best of luck in February. There is actually a giveaway going on right now as well, so don't forget to check that out. I'll link all of that information in the description below. Feel free to enter, man. You can enter once per day on that video, but do not comment on this video. It will not count. Go to that video. Free $500 pair of sneakers for one of you guys. So it's very, very worth it to try to enter. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, stay humble, stay blessed, take care, and I will see you on the next episode. Aloha. Shoot!